Also, you need a checkpoint. You can also die, make these bubbles, so the player knows that it's not probably a not good idea to
That
go
meow.
in there.
Welcome to episode 3 of the Meshy podcast, guys. The podcast all about AI creativity, game development, and 3D creation. I'm Nova, your host for today, and today I'm joined by my co-host Tara. This episode is strictly going to be a community showcase episode. We're not interviewing anybody at the moment. We don't have any special guests or anything in that sense. But it's one of my favorite types of formats, just showcasing what we're all doing and what we're all spending our time doing. So I'm just going to be asking you guys just like one at a time from the stage if you guys want to come up, showcase, stuff you've been working on, whether that's like games, 3D models, AI experiments, or just like cool projects. Nothing too stressful, just yap. It's gonna be like a yap session, so I want to hear a lot of you guys just like yap, just super casually. Just want to, highlight everything we're making in this space. And also, real quick, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you're listening in as well, you can find the Meshup podcast anywhere you get your podcasts. And lastly, if you would like to participate or join a live show one of these days, make sure to join the Meshy Discord as well. We would love to have you. With that being said, let's get into it. Who wants to be the first guinea pig of the day today and showcase what they're working on?
I just wanted to say, I want to encourage all the new faces. If any one of you is working on cool stuff that we haven't seen at all yet, it's always nice to see what the community is making. So
Oh,
feel free
that
to,
too.
I don't know, raise your hand, I guess, is the process.
Yeah. Whoever wants to
Okay,
showcase
I'll
them.
showcase.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I'll
Sorry.
showcase the blender later because Meshy doesn't want to cooperate right now.
Oh, kind of like how
So
Discord
if
didn't want to
somebody
cooperate
wants
with
to
me.
come,
We haven't seen
and
actually
Meshy doesn't
stream in a
cooperate with
while.
me.
I know that, and it's always nice to look.
Yeah, I see we
I
have
mean,
a lot of new faces today, so that's really cool to see. So hello to everybody.
if you guys want, I can showcase my game while we wait for the Meshy to start working.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay,
Please.
I'll have to boot it up. I wasn't, to be honest, expecting to be the first right
How
at
dare
the
you?
start.
How dare you not expect to be the first one?
I expected with the blender, like, Meshy to set 0%. Finally it started to generate, so I'll show that later. I'll showcase my game, what I have been doing for the past 2 months since I haven't been here.
Oh, this is what you've been spending your time with?
Yes, I have been spending my
Nice.
time with co-op and solo are finally working correctly. This is how my game looks like. Since I haven't started the zombies yet, I just want to showcase what I have done in the meantime. These objects are all Meshy generated. It's just used Blender for the final touches, so it won't be such big assets. I'll showcase how to use Blender correctly later on. So these are the everything Meshy. I know some of these don't look like it, but Meshy has become such fine instrument to use in gaming that everything just works perfectly.
Yeah,
If you want to
I think
use
I saw
Mesh,
you share some of these assets on the Discord. I remember seeing these. These look really
yes,
cool.
yes, I have showcased a long time ago when I had just these tombstones, the rest in place and the rest in these tombstones. I have evolved right now into the ground. You can actually see the cracks and everything. It's pretty much detailed right now. Yes, it's Meshy created.
Look
So
at you. I like it.
I have created also these. I don't know what torches or something. To be honest, I don't even know what to call them. But some variety in the game. You can also see that it's pretty detailed, even though it's using really a small number of vertices. I have been playing around the Blender and everything. Also, this is only 10K vertices. This
So
is
can I ask you
older.
something?
Yes, sure.
As someone who's been avoiding Blender or like bouncing off of it for a few times over the years, and you
Yeah.
can't do any modeling stuff, how would you like when you make static things, doesn't remesh or low poly mode do it for you? Are those still too
That's
high
what I
poly,
wanted
or
to
what do you?
showcase.
Okay,
That's what I wanted to
so you
showcase.
already
So
remeshed these, or they were low poly to begin with?
no, this is this thing, this alter or what do you want to call it? This is used by Meshy 6, the completely new one, and completely remade in Blender. So it looks. I would showcase what Remesh did to it, but I don't want to make your eyes hurt later on. Also, these guys are made with Meshy 6 and then completely break down and blended down to 10K vertices. Same with everything you see here except this. This is remesh. If I'm going to go out of range, you can actually see going it like the shadow and everything, the quality drops. This is 30K. And if I run even more, where you can't even see it properly, it's remeshed into 10K like you see. I don't know if you can see it much on the stream, but you can visibly see the changes in quality are bad where it's remeshed. And the way I'm going to showcase everything in Blender. So this is right now using Meshy 6 and remesh. If it loads. This is the base model by Meshy 6.
Oh wow.
Remesh down to 30K, you already see lots of details down, somehow detailed double. I have no idea how during the remesh, but you already see a lot of the detail right now. And if I'm going down to 10K, the detail is completely lost.
And low poly mode
Even if,
wasn't better.
yes, low poly mode I have right here used for basic low poly mode, you see it's missing part
Yeah.
of it.
That didn't turn out great.
And if
Okay,
I'm
I'm
going
ready
to
for the
remesh it
Blender flow
even
now.
down to 10K,
You
absolutely
convinced me.
broke.
You do need Blender sometime.
So I'm going to download the 2 million to showcase it. If
And for someone who, if you don't mind me asking, if for someone who doesn't know
Yes.
anything about like remeshing or anything like that, what does cause like what's the difference between the first model, this one, and then the last one that you just showed? Like what would it do to your game if you were to add either or?
if I would add this to my game, you can see vertices and face count up. It would, on older PCs, it absolutely make the game unplayable. If you get to 2 million vertices in one instance, you can already forget about the older generation of I can't even talk, graphic cards being
Uh-huh.
able to run your game. If you go over 10 million vertices, you can forget your own PC to even load the game. And if you put few of these models, you can really forget about your game being playable.
It's just gonna crash. It's gonna crash the whole computer.
Not crash the whole computer, more like your FPSs are going to be so low, it's going to be unplayable.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
Anyways, if we want to use Blender, let's get our Meshy 6 model, everything, and download it as FBX. You can use Object. FBX is progressively better. It also keeps the whole structure, and download isn't even that big. If the machine even wants to work.
No, you're not allowed. You're not allowed to download it today.
No, I'm not allowed. You see, only 60 megabytes,
Oh, okay.
which is not a lot. We'll take our Blender. We remove the basic things from scene like light and the basic object. Go File, Import, FBX. Take our Meshy model. Wait for it to probably not even get inside it. Very fun, very nice.
I like this. This is like a real masterclass right here.
Not really masterclass. I just wonder why it doesn't even want to import the FBX. Like it doesn't want to. Okay, let me restart everything.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah, of course. The
Let it
Blender
actually
through
open.
Steam. Yeah, the basic reason for when you want to show something, nothing wants to work. That's why I wanted to be prepared. It's still not really worked out. Okay, why does the model doesn't want to work? It's not even funny. It just doesn't really want to even.
Oh, Night Lore in the chat said, install your Meshy add-on to send it directly over.
Yeah, I
Yes,
can
we
install
asked
it.
that.
I could. I know there's a bridge, but it's just like I'm already downloading it, then again re-uploading it for texture. It's just I haven't even done the bridge yet. Mostly because you don't even tried.
I mean, I didn't even know what that is, so you got me beat.
Okay, we
There
got
it is.
it here. Okay, we got our base model. We're going to head to modifiers. We want to make it smaller. Go with decimate. And you can see how big the face count is. Just we want to lower it. Of course, down. We can even 0.1. What it will do. Just to showcase the details. Time for a little bit of crash since Blender has to calculate all the remeshing. Hopefully, I didn't do too big of change to crash
It's
my
okay.
PC.
If it crashes live, then we'll all see it, and we can all
Okay,
judge.
it's already done. Do you see any difference?
Not visibly. I don't think so. I don't see anything, but
No. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe
damn.
minimal, but I'd have to compare them a few times side by side. Yeah, look, definitely looks way better than the Meshy remission version had.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to showcase that we took it down to basically this.
And pretty much with one
And the
or two clicks, right?
pretty much so.
So
Yeah.
do you have to tweak a lot of settings to make this work for other meshes? Was this a lot of luck, or does it work out of the box like that for most things you've tried?
Everything. Out of the box,
Nice.
it works for everything. It just has to calculate a lot. We can tune it down even more. Yeah. You know, it doesn't look so good. So we're just going to tweak it a little bit to increase it.
It's crazy how
Our
fast it
liking.
does it.
Yeah, because we went from 2 millions down to 20K, 200K, so it absolutely broke. But if we are doing these small changes, it does pretty quickly. And you can see live how it changes everything.
Oh yeah, the face count. Yeah, I see it going up.
So we'll take, I don't know, this. Okay, we'll do it down to the Meshy stand, which I set to 20K. It's still a lot better than this. If you can see it, the details are more visible. The Meshy literally stole the details. The spikes are inside the body instead of out.
So does this keep the UV intact, or do you need to retexture it now in Meshy, or how does that work?
That's why I didn't texture it yet. You can't really use the base texture since it's really taken to the poly count by Meshy.
Yeah.
So we need to show it right now. You do export, FBX, wherever you want to. Let's give it test one. Export it. Blender is pretty fast, so I already have it exported in a few seconds, and you can already see the difference in the
Oh,
kilobytes.
Yeah, kilobytes. Yeah. In the chat, they're saying that
size.
Decimate destroys the UV.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, it does. We don't want to keep the original. Let's get the Meshy to play however it wants with it. Okay, we got it in Meshy. Everything. Let's get our texture.
So this is usually the process you do, right? Like this is what you normally do for
Yeah.
your models. Okay.
This is everything. You can see the base over here of the Archangel. and then I just using Blender put it down to this, made texture for it,
Oh,
and this is what you saw in the game. 10K absolutely acceptable. You can put hundreds of those. Nobody will lag.
nice.
One's going to be happy. You can even see this. I did it with these candles. It's down to 10K without remesh, and it always
Oh,
turns
that's
out they're amazing. You can even see what I did with the altar. I showcased at the start. This is basic Meshy. Yeah, this is with texture to showcase what I could have if Meshy wanted to cooperate. This is what the texture would look like in the game, but it would lag too much for the game to run properly. So I used Blender. There's not really big difference. If I remeshed it, absolutely break everything, but you can see the difference in these two are really small. Just
Yeah,
the
you could barely tell.
the base is destroyed. It's just a lot of unnecessary vertices are out. Then you just texture it, and nobody even can tell that you have it break. That you that it has such a low poly count. Texture writes so good on Meshy 6. It's actually pretty nice. Meanwhile, we got our texture for the dragon.
Oh, there's our dragon. Hell yeah.
You can see the Meshy. Okay, be the Meshy 6 remesh. You can see the scales completely vanished. A little bit of scales here. And if we take Blender, you can see the different stages of everything. It keeps basic details. It just takes the poly count out. So
Wow.
this is what I wanted to showcase to everyone.
That's huge. That's huge.
If you're using Meshy for your games, you can use your Blender pretty easily.
Yeah, that was
And-
very to the point. Nice one.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it. Thank you. Thank you.
And if you want to be special, you can, of course, go into modeling, sculpting, and you can also sculpt it a little bit yourself. Like, I don't know, I want to smooth things out. I have too many applications and modifier. I'll have to destroy this modifier, otherwise it'll break. Okay, we got smooth. We're going to smooth his chest a little bit since we don't want threads of depth. And then, of course, we can decimate it even more. Back to object, you can see he has clean I don't know what would you even call this. Basically, his front side would be completely clean. We would decimate it one more time. And you can see that it takes more of this here than everything else because this has lower priority than everything else. And that's basically how we use Blender with Meshy. If someone has something they want to show.
Yeah, no. That was great. That was great. Thank you so much, Philip.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Now,
And
I'll probably start making games now tonight just because of that.
You're in for a wild ride.
I'll probably start today and then I'll
Yeah.
quit tonight. Don't worry. All right.
yeah, that's possible.
Chad, do you want to share some of your 3D prints, buddy?
While I'm still here, I would like to say not very skilled with Blender. Also, this is what you saw was me after using Blender for less than 2 months.
Now, from someone that doesn't know it, Blender, you look like a professional to me, so don't worry. You look like a pro. I've
So-
never touched Blender. I've touched it once before in the past, but I don't know what the hell I was doing, but you look like a professional.
Yeah, I believe somebody, at least someone, could correct me everywhere here. Yeah, so I'm moving back to stage and leaving the
Okay.
works for everyone else. Have a nice day, everyone.
You too. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you, man.
Chad, no, we can't hear you, I don't think. I'm not able to hear you.
Well,
know what?
Chad's working on his audio. Do you mind if I?
Yeah.
comment?
Go ahead, please.
So, Philip, that was pretty interesting. I really liked the workflow. One of the things, I'm not good with Blender either. But if you are using a tool like Google's anti-gravity, you can actually set that up to create automations and have it run through like a folder full of different types of Meshy files that you've downloaded that maybe have a high poly count, and run it through on a headless version of Blender 10. I know I'm scattered here on this one, but I set up an automation to convert GLB files that I was getting from Hunyan because they're free. So I was downloading some, testing it out, and I had whatever it is, 10 or 20 of them or something. And it works with all files, but this is just this example. I put all of those into a folder and then used Google's anti-gravity to kind of look at that folder and then help create a headless 10 process headless version of Blender to run in the background to convert all of those to doing the same thing you're doing, right? Where you're reducing the poly count and reducing the mesh size, but not knowing Blender very well, and even just slightly more of Python, it was really easy to use the anti-gravity side. As long as you have a process down, and as long as you can define that, it will really help you automate that whole flow. So you could just download a whole bunch of Meshy files, do your conversion, and then re-upload them with very little effort. So what takes you like 2-3 minutes on push button workflow will take 10 seconds on a headless version. So just wanted to throw that out there.
The next step would be to connect that to the Meshy API, send it back to the texturing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's next on my list to try. But I like it. It's next on my list to try. So I love it though when I get into it. All right. Thank you.
There's always another step of automation.
I appreciate the feedback, Andy. Thank you. Oh, but I think Phil say
Andy,
something.
could you showcase us your software or whatever that you're talking about? I would really like to see it.
Yeah, Andy, do you want to share that?
Let me pull it up. Let me see where. Let me get it.
We haven't seen any integrity here yet, but I agree that it's an amazing tool, and I'm skeptical of vibe coding, but it's really, really effective.
There is definitely a way. So vibe coding is kind of it's misleading in the way that people are using it. You actually have to have a process down. You have to understand the nuances between different, like cursor or anti-gravity. So I started on cursor and I'm testing anti-gravity, and the workflows are very similar. The layout's almost identical. I'm pretty sure that they're stealing from each other as far as ideas go.
They bought it.
They did. Oh, did they? Oh, so yeah, you're right. They probably did buy it, but you really have to start off on the plan side of it before you just jump into it. And there's a video that I was watching the other day, just in case anybody else is trying it. One of the best things that I saw was, don't course correct while you're vibe coding with it. Go back and edit your last prompt, or revert everything back to your last prompt and add that change that you want to your prompt. Run it again. If that doesn't work, go back to your last prompt again, edit it again. That way, someone had said that when you're building on garbage, it always knows what the garbage is and it can get confused and call that back up. So that's a very important tip that I found the other day that's really, really helpful. And then setting it up on a plan stage where you are defining what the planning is. And again, I'm sure there's a lot of people who have a lot more experience in it than I do. I'm just kind of a hack, so I'm learning as I go with it. But those are the things that I've learned with it. So give me a sec while I try to find that project.
Oh, good. Thank you. Chad, is your audio working now, buddy?
I hope so.
There it is. There it is. Hey,
Okay.
look.
Yes, it's working.
Lord.
You just had to do what I did: leave and come back. Apparently,
Yeah.
apparently that's
Shut down, unset, reset everything, unplug the router, the usual. Yeah, I was just gonna kind of piggyback off that, like the Blender tutorial, but I'm more just like 3D prints. So, you guys want to show you kind of my process? I can gladly do that.
Yes, please.
Yeah, whoever wants to go first,
Perfect.
Chad. Yeah, Chad. Andy, is it cool if Chad goes a little before you?
Absolutely. Let me look through all this. I got it pulled up, but let me just look it over real quick.
Okay. Chad, go ahead.
Beautiful. How do I share my screen?
The
share
little button.
screen,
Share
right
screen.
there.
Yeah.
Share. No, maybe. All right, there we go.
There we go. Beautiful. All right, you got it.
Alright. So let's jump over here. It's only sharing that one screen. Give me 1 second here. Let's see, share screen. Okay, that's crazy. Let's
He accidentally exited out of the. Oh, that was like a
Which, yeah,
live. That was like a
happens to
live.
me.
That was like a live.
Like,
That was like a live booting. He says, "All right, let's get this out of here." Boom. He gets. Sorry, that was just too damn funny. Oh god. Sorry about that.
I once did that, and then I kept talking for like 5 minutes until I realized
You didn't realize
no
you
one was
left.
listening anymore.
I think that's what he's doing right now. He's probably.
That's,
Oh god, this is great.
he's gonna come back here in half an hour, super exhausted, just show his whole
He's gonna be
workflow.
like,
Made
"So, what do you guys
3D
think?
prints.
What do you guys think?" Oh, that's crazy.
Well, there he is.
I'm crying. I got like tears in my eyes. That was like too funny.
I
for
think you
some
need
reason.
to re-invite him on stage.
Yeah, I see two. Two
Oh,
accounts.
yeah. Okay, that's bugged out. Let's hope you get the right one.
Or just have both audios.
Cut the green cable.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Chad, did you realize
guys.
that you realize that you exited out of the Discord?
not at all. No. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is really quiet.
I know
Talked
the
for like a
feeling.
whole minute, huh? Yeah, let's get this
I don't know
outta
what's
here.
going on
Let's-
today. This is yeah. Maybe I
No, don't
should,
worry, don't worry.
restart
It
the-
all started off with my bad juju. Like nobody was able to hear me talk, and then
Should we just blame
Yeah.
Axie and just go that route?
let's just do that. I like that.
Perfect. All right, let's try this one more time. We're gonna share the screen.
Please don't exit out of us.
Just jump straight into Blender. All right, and we got this guy right here. So what I like to do is just kind of hammer in a little more detail. They are miniatures, but you know, with the face and whatnot. So I will always go a little further. Let's see.
So just for context, so this started off as an image from Nano Banana, or what's the story?
So that image came from actually Opilot. They are pretty good about just looking at what go off of old images and kind of update it. And I believe that
And
was
that
like
was
World of
Nice.
Warcraft miniature with
Mhm.
weapon something. So I like to use that. There is a couple others that I'll use. There's one that's Perchance is free. And then I have the Nano Banana from here and what is it, Hatfield? That works really well. So
And you create them with the base and print that out with them?
yeah, I've done it both ways without the base to get a little more detail in the character prior then add the base on. But
Yeah, that model looks really crisp.
so let's see if I can find the original image here. Let's go texture.
You use these for D&D, right?
Yeah, well, I play a lot of Heroes Quest, similar
Okay.
to like Warhammer. And that's kind of where this all started. Me and my son were playing, and a lot of people were doing like homebrews and all their own stuff. And we were like, we want characters that represent us or whatever we're dealing with. And then we made our own characters. And then I was like, it'd be cool to make our own like villains and boss fights and stuff. And a couple Google searches later, and I went with this route. So
Nice.
So how many
was,
hundred models have you made?
Ah.
It get pretty addictive.
Yeah, it's very addicting. I would say more in the thousands of models. I have 280 on my Colts website that are all Meshy and all just free to download. And yeah, it is addicting for sure. Let's see if we can just go.
I remember when Midjourney came out and I started making images of NPCs for my role-playing tabletop group. Just the images, the tools weren't capable of anything more, but that alone was like, oh, okay, like 300 NPCs later, my world is very visual now.
Yeah, well, and they have like card creators now for Heroes Quest, so you can make like your own character, their own card, their own stat sheet. It's crazy and it's all AI, so it's kind of like very easy to work with, and it's been nice. So yeah, I'll kind of crisp this guy up by adding him a new head.
The head is a separate mesh, but also generated, or
Yep, that head is a separate mesh.
Okay.
So that's going to be this guy right here.
Oh, I think I've heard you say before, like so a lot of your pieces, you like just like you put a bunch of different pieces together, right? To like make one.
Yeah, yeah. None of my pieces that I print are going to be the original. They're going to be definitely a couple added in, even if it's small things like this kind of stuff right here. You know, that will bug me the whole time. So I'll have to kind of get rid of that and do something
Nice.
like, let's see, let's just go ahead and chop that off real quick. So
In the chat, they asked, how do you combine different pieces into a single body model?
with there's two ways that I do it. So I join them and then I do a manifold to make sure that we don't have any like floating pieces or anything that can like cause any holes in the print. Problem is when you're adding them together and you don't clean up some stuff, then you'll have a hollow spot in your print. And best case scenario, a couple years later, it starts to leak. Worst case scenario, you get a failure in the print and you just don't realize it till you're starting to remove supports. I've had several that have such thin walls that when the supports are connected, they look great. I go to remove supports and it's just like a shell and they just crack up. So, and you'll want to do that in exact, just kind of get rid of that thing. And then Flip, how much RAM are you using with your, because I'm noticing a little slow.
I'm using
I'm
16
about ready to update.
gigabytes,
Just 16?
16
Okay.
of DDR4.
Okay.
So,
And then
yeah,
another
perfect.
thing that I've noticed with Meshy, if you have some floating parts, it's best to just get rid of those. And the easiest way, edit mode, hover over your model. You'll want to unselect all faces. Press L, that just kind of limits you to that one space, and then P to remove it from that. So if you have any floating anything, it's now a separate model. So we can just go back to object mode. We can go to this guy, get rid of him, set our origin to the center. That way we can kind of adjust it to what we want and see we got some floating stuff right there. We're going to want to get rid of that. And, something like that. And then with his head, if you back to where he's kind of squared up here.
The little floaty stuff that you saw just kind of like fuses into the model.
No, so what I'll do with that is you can click on this and we'll just go back to edit mode. Hover over just this one piece, separate it from everything. That's going to make that into a couple different pieces. We can just delete this.
Ah, nice.
Now we're down to just
So
those.
you just press these 5 things and click these 4
He's
hotkeys.
doing it like such a pro.
Sorry.
Seamless.
There was a little thing that I was trying to figure out where you can see your keys like as you press, and I've been trying to figure that out so I can have like kind of a tutorial set up.
I think the thing is that these things are actually kind of easy, but there's like a million different workflows you could combine them into. And in the end, what it takes, in my experience, is just you need to sit down with the software and use it for kind of a long time. And then it starts to click and you get the memory.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed too. There is 1,000 different methods to get to the same exact point in Blender or some of the other sculpting and modeling apps. It's just kind of your preference on how you feel that things seem easier to you. There's a lot of like, you could just click on the object and you could separate it by different whatever, convert it, clean up. But I personally like to use this add-on. It's a 3D print add-on, and you can make a manifold, clean up everything. It does run pretty slow if you do everything together, but if you do it just separate, like we'll just make this guy manifold right here. Give it a few seconds.
A cool puzzler in the chat put a plugin that you use to show your keystrokes
What's that? Oh, let me go to the chat.
right there. The screencast key. That looks pretty cool. Blender add-on.
Shift A. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you, Kroll. That's super cool. Perfect. All right, so
This all looks.
I guess
so,
we'll just
this all
take
looks
his head in.
so easy. What would you say is like the hardest thing of this? Like, I mean, I know it's probably not easy. You're making it look really easy. What would you say is like the hardest part for you on like this whole process?
It actually isn't really that hard. I mean, I'm probably doing a little faster than people that haven't started, but a couple weeks of trying and everything. The hardest part is just making sure that it's manifold, making sure that this whole thing makes it to your slicer and there's no errors there. If you're running a good slicing program, some of the better ones have some really nice cleanup or repair options, but you still want to start with as solid as possible with your model.
Isn't one difficult spot like the fingers of the left hand, fixing that with the remnant of the axe handle sticking out from the bottom? I would imagine that you'd have to like sculpt that to make it look good.
Yeah, so you'd probably go into sculpt. I would probably just nudge that in there a little bit, clean it up just a little. And once you get it like that or so, maybe we'll give him a little better. That's strong. Let's turn that down.
To me,
Clean up a
these
little bit.
things are definitely the hardest when it becomes a bit more artistic and less technical.
Yeah. Maybe pop this finger up just a little bit. But again, it's a 38 millimeter mini, so as much as I love like when it shows like a fingernail or something, technically you don't necessarily need that much detail, but with Meshy and Meshy 6, I've gone just crazy. I literally reprinted everything that I printed for the last couple of years. I have hundreds of like, this is what it looked like 2 years ago, and this is today. So, but yeah, here, let me move this guy's head in. We'll clean up his face just a little bit, and then I'll join him and manifold him, and I'll let the next guy have some fun. So
Nice. Well,
let's
I
go on
appreciate
him.
you showing this like this little process that you do, because I know a lot of people would probably be like, or would like to do something like this as well, and just to see how like simple you make it, you know.
Yeah, it's really not that hard. Just cleaning it up and making sure you don't have like an extra eyeball or that extra ear there. And there's, like I said, several different methods to get to this point. I've noticed a lot of the ones that I've seen doing this, like on YouTube, are using edit, and they'll just kind of edit out these faces.
And that helps, I'm assuming, in the final process, right? Like that helps like whenever it's actually printing to not have like weird like obstructions, right? Or anything
Yeah,
pop up.
definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. So after, we'll call him good enough. So I'd probably spend, obviously a couple hours having fun with it. I'd probably do a new skull there or whatever. But once you're kind of happy with it, just grab everything all at once. We're gonna join all those models together, and then I like to make it hollow first before I do the manifold. And that just kind of cleans up everything, like that extra head and neck that was in there and whatever else might have kind of floated into my multiple models. Clean it up, make manifold slowly.
If you weren't to do that step, what would happen to the figure?
I'd probably fail in print, or you would have to do several repairs in whatever slicing software you're using.
Okay.
You need manifold when you send it to the printing software. If it's kind of like the best description is it's like a balloon. If it doesn't have all of it, the software is not sure exactly what you're even doing with it. So it's got to have an inside outside. It's got to be all watertight, lack of better words. And then I have a quick little, tool just to make sure that when I'm sending it out, it is the right base size. So I just throw this bad boy in there. Actually, I think I made it huge. Let's see. There it is.
Oh, is that supposed to go under it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how I ended up with it over there, but let's fix this just a little bit. That'll do. And then we're going to scale him up. Come on. Maybe. Just so it's kind of in the ballpark of where we want it. Perfect. And then we're going to export STL. And yeah, that's basically what I do in all my free time.
That is nice. That's a good use of your free time, I will say. Very good use. I appreciate it.
I mean,
Chad.
it's not as
Thank
cool
you
as
so-
showing off your games and stuff. That's some awesome work I've been seeing on here. But yeah, that's why I like this community. It's very diverse with a lot of different creators doing different things with the same software. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
Can you show a final outcome, like a photo of a print?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I feel like
Let
that's
me, of
the missing bit.
course,
No
Let
pressure.
me pull one out here. No pressure. I think everything that I've printed lately, I've definitely uploaded. But yeah, let me throw one on there real quick. Actually, we'll just go right here. We'll go.
And he's gone. Don't worry. He'll be back, guys. He'll be back. I promise he'll be back.
Can you back?
He
Or
has
maybe
to.
post the images in chat. But I
Why
think it
does
would be
everyone
on
like to
screen
quit
just for
the
a little
Discord?
bit. Sorry?
Why does everyone like to quit?
I think because the button for just leaving the room is
It's
kind
the
of
same
close
as like
to the
closing.
button for leaving just stopping your stream.
I think especially if you have Discord set to where like if you click the X, it doesn't minimize it. It'll just exit the whole application. I think that's what's happening. Just
Yeah,
an
that could be
exit.
true.
Well, I think
I
he'll
don't
be
know
back
what to
to
say
show. I
anymore.
think he'll be back to show the image here in a little bit. But let's just move on to the next one. Andy, do you wanna showcase some of your stuff, buddy?
Yeah, I can. I got it up. Let me remove push to talk real quick.
Okay, no, I think that was good. Yeah, as somebody who doesn't know anything about game development or Blender or 3D things, this is all very interesting to learn. All of this, I feel like I'm gaining knowledge by the second. So I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right. Everybody can hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. Share. So share my screen is not available. Do you have to enable it?
Well, that's weird. It's not. And I think it might be because when we saw chat,
Yeah.
there's two versions. One of those kind of is stuck sharing. I think,
nice.
because
Maybe
you can only share one screen at a time. And mine is disabled too.
mine's
so
mine's
apparently
disabled.
Oh, wait. I can screen share.
you can.
Yes, I
What
can.
what the hell?
Cheater.
Right now.
What the hell?
Can
How
you
the?
know?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that
It works now.
fixed it.
It works now. It works now.
Nice job.
Yeah, so it was you the
You're
whole
welcome.
time, wasn't it?
I hijacked this.
You hacked it, dude. What's wrong with you? All right, Andy.
No,
I think
I
you should give it a
hijacked.
Oh, you hijacked it.
There we go. I can. All right. I'm going to share a device, an application, because I can't do a screen in my, actually, I'm sorry. I'm going to move it over to the other screen because I have several windows I want to show you and I don't want to keep swapping between. So give me 1 second while I
All
move
good, all
things
good.
over. It's either that or you got to look at it on a 48-inch.
I want to look at it on a 48-inch.
Do you? I can, but
No.
it's difficult for other people. That should be it. All right, screen. This one.
Oh wow. Should look at that.
So you should, yeah. We'll talk about that one in a sec, and then I
Okay.
want to get this over because I want to show that. So, okay, so I will give you just my hack version of what happened here. There was a lot of the workflow that we're talking about is the same, where we're using Meshy 6 to create everything that we possibly can. The quality is better than, and not to boast because we're on this, but the quality is definitely better than a lot of the other tools out there, especially within the last couple of months where holes were not showing up as much and the geometry was a lot cleaner. It was mentioned earlier about, non-manifold type geometry was causing some problems. So a couple months ago, we started, probably three months ago, maybe even 4, we started going down trying to get an automation set up because we're going to have a lot of NPCs in our in all the levels that we have in our game right now. And so we have to kind of start pushing this faster. The process that we had was to generate the models full, like high resolution, the best quality that we could for a start, then simplify the geometry the best that we could to make it a little bit easier, but then to start adding in allowing for the rigging and animation using Meshy for all of that. And one of the things that was kind of happened is even if we were simplifying some of the geometry, and I want to say it was before Meshy 6 was the full release was out. That's what it feels like. So it might have been longer than that. And so we had to come up with something that was going to kind of fix geometry. So we were doing the same thing where we were exporting out, and we wanted to bring it into Blender. We wanted to run through and merge vertices by distance was the first thing versus decimate, because we found that decimating did a really good job of decreasing the volume or decreasing the mesh quantity, but we were trying to fix geometry and we were trying to use that as a process. And so decimate is something that we could definitely try to add into this later, but right now this is really based off of merging vertices by a set distance, powering through it to make it run through it twice if it didn't hit a threshold, but also give us a report of the details because we want to know. So as we're generating reports, this will tell us everything that we want. And so I want to know what's failing. I want to know why it's failing, if it can tell me, and then start doing time studies to see. So right now, this automation did 143 files. It had 137 that were successful, and it gave a couple that were timeouts. So timeouts was set to 3 minutes so that I didn't have to sit there and wait. It was all headless versions of Blender that were being launched on one process, because Blender apparently is a single process, a single thread application still, at least on the launch side of it. There could be tools that are not, but I was launching each one on a single process. And then it would run through, and you can see down here that the performance statistics were averaging 9.3 seconds, for the import time, 11 seconds for the 12 seconds for the convert, or the total time to do all of the work itself. So it's funny that the opening of the geometry takes a little bit longer than it does to actually do the process. All of these files were dumped into a single folder. And if I come all the way up to the top, sorry for the text being super small. For some reason, they don't allow a lot of customization on the text side. I can make the viewports, like where I'm looking at the markdown files or the text files, I can make that text longer, but the chat text I can't. Or I'm sorry, make that text bigger, but I can't do it in the chat text. So I apologize for how small it is.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
So, okay, now that's kind of the backstory of where we ended up and where we were able to achieve the goals that we were going for. But now if we go back up and look at it from the start side of things, this is Google Anti-Gravity just runs off of your normal Gmail account. So if you can log in, you get a lot of really good choices, especially from the model types. And so in the beginning, I was using Claude Opus 4.5 Thinking, and I ran this. I was in here plus another project total for one day, about 8 or 9 hours. That's how much time they give you for free on Claude Opus. I do have a Gemini Pro subscription, so I connected up to that, and now I can just use that all I want. So it's really, depending on what the task is going to be, is what model that I'll tend to use. And that's why and I said it before, but it is really important to understand the planning side of it and to get that going forward. This was done before I understood that, and I started telling it what to do. And as we were going along versus going back and clicking this button right here, which says undo changes back up to this point, then add the details and then have it recalculate. That's the new model that we're going to start working on. But anyway, from a vibe coding perspective, I knew what I was doing. I knew that I was going to have a lot of FBX and GLB and OBJ files. I want to do a Python script that runs in a headless Blender side. And the only reason why I got this idea is because I was conversing with Gemini and ChatGPT to kind of get a better understanding of what was available from the automation standpoint. Blender is highly customizable through the Python side of things with their API. So it was really easy and fast to generate this automation side. So if you already have something down that you know what the steps are to do, putting it in there versus trying to have it guess and check is definitely part of that planning side. So anyway, conversing, chatting back and forth, getting it to understand, ask questions. I want it to ask me questions before it ever starts. doing anything, and that way I can kind of give it the responses that I want. Then this will go through and it did its own individual smoke test with a couple files that I put it into the directory just to run it and see what it would do. And so it does its own smoke testing. And then as we're coming through, I'm starting to now define more of the organization side of things and how I want more of the detail to be defined and created. And then working on this output report information is coming next. So my limitation, that's kind of like the big picture top end of it. So if we think about it from a vibe coding perspective, I didn't have the real technical chops to go through and be very specific in the stuff that I wanted it to do. What files did I want it to create was, I didn't have that from a back end standpoint. But if you can ask it to explain things to you, it does a really good job of telling you what something might do. Why would it use a JSON over a text file, for example? I know we all know why, but we should have an idea why it's doing that from an efficiency standpoint. But what if it's using something on a React or a Node.js, environment? Not in this case, it isn't, but I always want it to tell me what it's doing and try to get a better understanding before I ever tell it to accept. So in this case, when I was going through here, this was when I was first starting out, and I just was accepting everything. If it made a suggestion, I said accept and move forward, just as a way to get a better understanding of how it works. So, okay, it comes through now. And one of the things that I actually had it do later on was create these master blend files, which as I was doing 134 successful imports, merge vertices by a distance, and then export to an FBX, I was having it put everything into a one Blender file, all of the models in there, creating an array of them. So it was just doing a 10 models along one row, and then it would just create a new row, and then just keep doing that and put it all down. I was doing that as more of a check to see which ones were actually being converted correctly and which ones were failing. So it was my visual representation. Plus it was creating the individual Blender files themselves. So I didn't have to do them all at once. And this is a 7 gigabyte file, which Blender really kind of struggles with on opening and performance wise. So it's really just a backup. I have all the models, I have them converted. And then as I'm running through and redoing tests, it's saving all of that information. So that's how I have set this up to do that type of an automation standpoint. And I'm pretty sure I've missed some of the workflow. So if anybody has any questions about this process.
From my perspective as a big fan of anti-gravity, I guess maybe it would be easier to understand if you showed the planning, planning artifact, or maybe adding to what you said. It's so the default workflow with anti-gravity is that you tell it what you want to do and it comes up with a plan, and you can comment on that and correct it, and also ask it like, why are you doing this specific thing this way? And I feel like there's a real sweet spot where you might actually be able to learn a bit while also applying all the skill you do have to get an outcome that's really better than either purely vibe coding or doing it by hand.
Yeah, no, I agree. So this is the output file, the architectural file that I have it kind of create so that I can always read through it and try to get a better understanding of what it is that it's doing. Of course, there's a lot of, when you're reading it just off the, from the first time, there's a lot going on in here, but the README file is also, I've been using the architectural one to just try to understand the process, but the README files are also created to understand how the code is being structured itself, whereas the architectural one is the overall planning side of it. So what is it that I wanted it to do? And then what is it that I wanted the code to do? And it created this for me. We iterated through this and had anti-gravity generate it for me. That's a whole lot of information. I'm aware of that. But the beauty part of this,
I personally don't know what the hell I'm looking at, but it looks good. You know what I'm saying?
So here's the beauty part is you don't have to know what it is. There's I've tried this H item 3D. I've tried all different other Tripo 3D, every other model generator that I possibly could to try to get different models, because I was trying to find out what the best workflow is. And it was taking a lot of time to go through and do these one at a time, because I got to drag and drop, or I got an import, and then I got to wait, and you got to, while the AI is doing a lot of crunching on the back end, which this is where I want to connect it up to the API next, because I don't want to do a lot of this same type of back and forth in here, especially when I'm, starting off with the Meshy model, adding some kind of the texturing side, and then simplifying it down a little bit more, as is, without a whole lot of generation. And this, I know it looked like hell on this one, but with our game, it's actually, this workflow is quite acceptable. What we're doing, because our game's a little bit further out from a top down. It's not true top down, but the way that we're doing it right now, we can keep this distance here, and so the models are looking really good no matter where we're at in here. So simplifying them, of course, is also going to be the key to that.
And I'm assuming this workflow is shared, you shared this exact workflow with everybody that's working on the game.
They have the end result. So the Python code, they got all of that. But as far as I don't have this set up for a team yet, because we're still testing this on how we're doing everything. Everything that we do, though, is shared. We have our own little Miro that we are using as a team, like it's our team space, where we are, not only just the artistic planning, but also the development planning, and then anything else that's going in here. We have a Google Drive that we have for our team.
Okay, nice.
And we're sharing the data in there, but from, the testing, the trying out new workflows, this is where this environment's locally for me, because what it's asking for is it's asking for a folder. So I do it by folder, and so I just create something on my local machine and then run through it. There was another one that we have shared now, which was we have a capture mechanism that we're doing for some of the models themselves, and that was super tedious, prone to crashing. There was a lot going on with that, and I don't want to show it in this one just yet, because I'm still tidying it all up. But we were able to use a mix between Aura. So I was on the beta test for Aura and alpha test for Aura. That and anti-gravity. You can connect anti-gravity up to your project because it's a folder, it's local. We're using GitHub work desktop, and that's our connectivity to our GitHub repository that everybody's using. So it's, of course, has a local directory. And you can connect this up to that directory. It understands the C++, definitely. But the blueprint side of things, it doesn't understand quite as much. And the way that I was getting around that is I was copying the blueprint nodes, because you can select all the blueprint nodes and copy paste it to a TXT file, and it can read that file. The only problem is it gets pretty unruly, because there's a lot of data in there that it has to try to understand. It's not like a simple JSON file, where it has a couple little bits that it has to pay attention to. When you have that big text file, it's a whole lot of information in there that it's got to fight with.
I also think that it tends to do less well with the node-based nature of it, because when I give it Unity documentation, it does well, like for writing the scripts. But when I give it shader graph documentation and try to make a graph for a shader that's node-based, then it struggles. I think maybe because the visual training isn't as extensive as the text training. The patterns aren't as easily recognizable as they are in code.
Yeah. And the other disadvantage to it is the API connectivity up to the blueprint side of things it's not really available for this.
Oh, it isn't. I recently saw someone use an Unreal MCP thing to connect it.
Who created it?
I don't know how well it works.
Yeah, who created the MCP server? Was it the user? Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a Unity user, so I didn't really pay attention to that part. But nice that there's MCPs for Unreal now, because there are popping up some for Unity. I personally don't really have a use for it. I just have it write code, but for blueprints, I'd see that being useful. And I'm sure
Yeah.
if they aren't functional right now, they'd probably be soon.
Yeah, so that's the other thing is I started off wanting to create my own because I thought it would be something that we could customize and tailor, but that's a task that we don't have time to work on right now, even as the team itself and the other developers. So using something that exists right now, or for example, connects up to two MCP servers that I believe that they've created and they own. That one's doing C++, the other one's doing blueprints. Unreal Engine, or Epic Games, I should say, stopped providing local API text documentation for 5.7, 5.6, 5.7, one of those two. So now I don't even have the HTML files that I could link in here in 5.7. Might have even been 5.5, but I stopped relying on it since it's not an available source anymore. They want you to use the online documentation, and you can't use this to web scrape that. So you are left to generating your own MCP servers if you have to for the help documentation. So that's
The instructions for them.
Yeah, that's a long-winded way of saying getting the C++ is a lot easier to work with. Having it define the pipeline or the workflow and what has to happen from a blueprint standpoint, it seems to do a pretty good job of outlining what it is that you have to do, but there's definitely hits and misses in here. But it for what it does and for what it saved us, we tried to create that automation to automate the content that we were creating. Not only that, but the Blender one came secondary, but the other workflow that we had, the automation that we had before, that is a full-blown pipeline, was saving us. I can generate what was taking me 30, 40 minutes before to generate 1,200 files manually. I can do now in 10 seconds, 15 seconds through two different workflow pipelines that we created. And a lot of it was done through using the anti-gravity platform to kind of help with the C++ side, but also help with the blueprint end of it. And it was really a super streamlined process to get it to work out right. And it does a good job of taking the errors that you get. So as we were even getting errors in here with the conversion side, I could import it. I could just drag and drop what the errors were going to be in here into anti-gravity and have it tell me, oh, this is the reason why it's happening. It was for whatever reason. There are tons of reasons why it can do that. But when you're working with Blender in particular, because it's been out for so long and the community is pretty robust and the API documentation is well available, I think, to it, it does a really good job of trying to understand what it is. Using Unreal, possibly even Unity, as a little bit more outside of C++, doing anything else like creating visual effects or things like that, or even on the blueprinting side, it can be a little hit and miss, but for the most part, if you just go into it knowing that what it's giving you could totally be wrong, and you don't go down spend a lot of time going through its workflow, but trying to read the workflow first and then ask questions and have it clarify, go back if you need to and redo your prompt, go back to another one, another source here where you want to undo all changes that it's done to any C++ or any other files right back up to this point, and then add in the new changes. That's my recommendation for everybody to start following. Another weird one, which seems odd, but a lot of people have been doing it for a while now, is being very specific in the custom instructions in here. And this has the ability now, the way that they're setting these types of things up from the vibe coding side, is there's a plan mode in cursor where you can actually tell it what the plan is going to be or the steps, or give it a lot more context.
In anti-gravity too, I'm still a bit confused because I think you're not using that feature.
I'm not because I didn't know it existed in here at the moment.
Oh,
plan. I know plan mode is, right? If we're talking about planning or fast mode.
That's what I was getting at before. It's really useful because the thing you're showing is 2, where you go back to the last point where everything was correct, basically. But I think you can save some of those because you can edit the plan beforehand and go through and before it starts writing any code, you can get a grip on what it's going to do and if that's understandable to you and if it's how you would have wanted it to do it. I guess that's ideal. If you know what it should look like, but you don't want to type it yourself, then it's such a nice flow to get it to write exactly the code you would have written.
Yeah. What I meant by that is over in the Explorer here, there's some new methods that are coming out right now on the cursor side that allows you to define what the plans are going to be while you're working it out with the agent itself. Then you can start defining what they are from incremental perspective. So another thing to kind of pay attention to is, and what I'm learning, what I would need to learn more on anti-gravity especially, but in cursor it does a really good job of separating out items and functionality into individual tasks. Where in here, I have to tell it, okay, you're going to do one thing in one Python file, then you're going to do another thing in another Python file, and another thing in another one, and I have to try to tell it to separate it.
It does that thing you're not using the features.
It probably does.
I copied that from cursor.
They probably did. So that's the next thing that I'm looking into. You're right. I am not using it if it exists because I just learned about it a couple of weeks ago, and I haven't had a chance to go back and revisit this one since it's working well. But that was a long-winded ramble of a madman's workflow to try to save some time. So
it was good picking at your brain to see this. This is insane. It's cool.
Yeah, it does a pretty good job. These are the files, as it was creating it. We can definitely see, if we're looking at some of the statistics sides, right? These are going down from 1.5 vertices to 500,000 vertices, and not really, the texture itself is kind of getting a little bit jacked up where there's a lot of little bleed overs that are happening, but for the most part, it's not a negative impact for us. It's actually not changing. We don't have to change much out of this in the workflow that we have right now.
Ed was asking what you are doing for animations. You rig them in
Yeah.
Blender, animate in
So,
Unreal?
Yeah, sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
So there's different ways that we're trying to do it right now. Because the models are coming out of Meshy, I have started using the Meshy animations to export them out. Because of our pipeline and the way that our game is looking and how our artistic style is more of like a flipbook style, it really doesn't make a difference. It's the way that we're setting it up right now and the way that we're able to create it using the animations that are inside of Meshy are actually helping us out more than I can actually state. Its pipeline to come through is normally getting it into Mixamo and then trying to get Mixamo to not fail on the models, which started the whole process of this thing here with anti-gravity, of figuring out how we can simplify the geometry and still make Mixamo import not break. And this whole thing solved that problem. But then Meshy animations also solve that problem. And since my models are already in Meshy, it just makes it a lot easier. And with the library growing significantly as a, humanoid or personified type beasts of what they are, it works out really well. There's a little bit of weirdness to it sometimes, like hand position can be rotated slightly, but for the most part, it's doing everything that we want it to do. So no extra steps. Retargeting inside of Unreal Engine would be the ideal way to go about it, but we don't have time to do that for every model that we have. So we're just rapid firing and getting as much done as we possibly can and get as many models as we can inside, because the visual component of what our game looks like, you can't tell. If I spent 100 hours or if I spent 10 minutes creating animations.
Is a form of quality too.
Variety is a form of quality, and you guys the Meshy team has put a lot of extra effort, it seems like, into the animation side. And so there is a lot of variety in there. I don't have to have the same attack. I don't have to have the same death, although a lot of them are pretty similar. But the ranged ones, right, if you think about it on, especially when you're coming up with the variety side, and for us, we have 4 tiers of one character. We have a base character that's a little, just consider it a farmhand, the weakling. Then you have another one that's ranged, another one that's a melee, and then we have a boss. So the bosses are doing different things, like different from the ranged and melee, where they could be doing a melee, but they're not doing a ranged, or they could be doing a ranged, not a melee, or they have a sword. And so just between those 4 characters, and we're defining the different types of animations that we want, they're all going to run, they're all going to walk, they're all going to idle, they're all going to die, and they're all going to have an attack. So 5 animations are all we're really working on right now. The way that we've set it up, we don't have to worry about blend space, because the blending in between our flipbooks are working out really well as is. And
Wait, they're all gonna die? No, I'm kidding.
well, I mean, that's the plan for the player, right?
Oh, you're making
Yeah.
one of those violent games, I see.
Wait, you're not making
Yeah.
a cozy simulator? No.
It's no, it is not. It's the whole.
Man, if
It's
you
actually
saw
kinda
what I have
dark. Yeah, please.
Okay,
It sounds really.
if
we
you
can
s-
go into
if you
it.
saw what I have prepared for my game for the players, you wouldn't be calling what he has hard. I'm preparing invisible zombies that only come visible at 3 meters of you, and everything else
Oh, so you want people to
just to
review?
make it.
You want people to badly review your game, huh? I'm kidding.
Yes,
You want
Yes, I
negative,
do.
You want negative reviews.
yes, I want to make as much pain as possible.
I love it.
It's called a rage game. It's a whole genre.
Well, Andy,
Okay,
we really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for showing this. This was great. The chat was going crazy. They liked the workflow too, and that was very insightful. So I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for sharing.
No
Yeah, very
problem.
interesting.
I hope people find it helpful, and I think I've asked it before, but I've always loved hearing how people are managing these types of workflows. I would share this with people if they wanted it, because it's really, it just took me a couple minutes, and it doesn't really do anything that's proprietary. You could do the same thing using it, but if anybody wants the architectural markdown or the README markdown, or honestly any of these files, really, you can have them, because it's not, I'm not going out, there's no webhooks, there's no secrets, there's no, I don't have any API keys in here. It's just all local using Blender and the power of anti-gravity to do all the work for me.
Love it, love it.
Yep. All right, cool.
Thank you so much, Andy. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. I know I want to get through 2 people because we're kind of getting close. We got about 30 minutes left. I wanted to get Jay. I know you said you wanted to showcase your game a little bit, and I know Axe said they wanted to showcase something as well. So I'll invite both of y'all up just in case, and then we could do about 10-15 minutes each, if that's okay with you. Just
Hello.
showcasing a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. All right, so Jay, yeah, let's take a look. Let's see this beauty. And I saw you said you're doing Steamfest. I love Steamfest.
I'm
Or
nearly close to
Next Fest,
a
sorry.
beta version, so I'm working full time on this.
Is that like a beta of the whole game, or is it like a vertical slice thing?
For now, it's still an alpha, but I'm close to the beta. I think I've added a multi-language selection. I have a new intro cinematics.
Oh, nice, yeah.
My name is Archibald Fix, MI13 agent in the service of Her Majesty.
Yeah, the game is in
The
60s.
agency has entrusted me with my very first mission, to investigate strange
It's made
events
with
on the
VO3.
island. Freshly
That's
seconded
nice.
from the
Looks nice.
Mi-13 offices, I left the London gloom behind, ticket in hand, bound for the airport, mastering the clueless tourist look with a loud shirt and all.
Is the
Touchdown
music
at Cairo's airport
made by you as well?
without a single eyebrow
By Suno.
raised.
Nice.
Yeah.
To shake off any tail, I went for a textbook menu. Boarding a cruise ship named La Belle Échappée, it was packed with French retirees, all hunting for Caribbean birds and those cocktails that are way too sweet. Pure irony, considering that later
I've made
that
the
night,
montage.
near Jamaica,
I've took
I lowered a
some
dinghy to sneak off to a
some
native
videos
island.
and I make the montage to
So
get something
Everything was going swimmingly. Well, until I managed
Seamless.
to teach myself
Have a
to
seamless
like a
video.
complete amateur. I got my oars at a twist,
It's
flailed
really
around like
clean.
a fish out of water, very nearly joined Davy Jones' locker. I came to on a beach, half dead and dripping wet. My boat was driftwood, and my dignity was in absolute tatters. My only welcoming committee, a bunch of mock
The best part is
a
coming.
literal army of crab. Have I ever mentioned that I despise crabs? I mean, really, those as little monsters pinch you
Yeah.
to death.
Some
Hate
crabs.
those things.
As a professional looking crab.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm invested. 100%. I'm invested. It does. It looks really professional. Like holy shit, it looks really good.
Ouch. Oh, yeah. I almost.
I am professional, so
Oh,
I
sorry.
have
Sorry.
to I have to make something clean. So
I have to carry out my investigation. First, I need my bag and my journal.
so
Oh, this is my
old
bag.
school point
I
and
need to
click.
take it before leaving. The bag is in terrible shape. I should look inside. And where is my journal?
Oh, I just realized you're actually playing this. I remember last time when you showed it, it was on your software.
Yeah, yeah. This time it's a build.
Seeds, compass and the island map.
I've added the mini map.
A loot bar. Opening it. Bold. You have a 0.3%. Okay, I've got all. Let's move on.
So I have the full map here. That's the part I've made. So this is to be completed.
That's crazy.
Seagull. Let's find a way to make it. You
Take the paddle.
this pad. I could find a use for it.
Maybe I should go fast to show.
Oh no, you're fine. What do you? If I can ask a question, what are you excited for like to hear? Are you excited to hear like feedback? Excited to like just see a lot of people play it?
Vignata. Good idea.
Some feedback will be welcome. Indeed. The game is on Steam, so you can play the demo on Steam.
I should
Okay.
find a way. I'm not in much of a hurry anymore.
I don't have many feedback yet.
Okay. Okay.
It will be nice to have some.
These wooden, perhaps from a ladder, those could be useful to me.
I'm going.
This island was deserted.
I've added some character on the dialogues, so you can
A duct tape.
Hey, that's mine.
have some.
Why do you want it?
I need it urgent. It's a matter of life or death.
Yeah,
really? And
Ark
why
in
is
the
that?
chat posted. How do you come up with the dialogues of the character and storytelling?
The dialogue are made with I take the sample from, then I use it in a local IA.
I think they meant the
I-
writing.
Yeah.
Yeah?
The writing. How do you come up with the writing?
The dialogue lines and
I
story.
wrote myself. It is written myself.
All in
So-
my brain, baby.
Yeah. Sometimes to time I ask to Gemini to have some ideas, but mostly it's unmade.
What are you talking about?
No, it's a.
No, but seriously, what is it for?
Yeah, AI is not really good into this, unless you want some hallucination to have some strange dialogue. You can, but more is really it's really hard to make. So for now, I'm not sure AI is the best
Tool for that, right?
the best idea. Yeah.
Wait, I'm thinking.
10 year, my old tub took a swell. I hear the hiss.
This
of
is
the
probably
water.
this is
Yes,
probably a
so
dumb
okay.
question, but
sir.
did you
Thank you.
personally add like little secrets in this game or something like for personally?
No.
No. Okay. I
Uh,
was just asking like Easter
Guns
eggs
of
or
death.
something that you
I-
added. I
you,
was
you
like,
have your.
And it's starting to.
I've added some Easter eggs.
Definitely not
Okay,
deserted
okay.
at all. Feed people discreetly. I might learn more.
You have the bar of the end of the world here, which is it's an Easter egg.
mhm.
Hey man, no beer here, I guess. No man.
He don't sell a cocktail. He serve
Never mind.
a zombie cocktail
Whatever you
because the end of the world.
the end of the
So
world,
that's
what
one.
sort of, yeah, bro. Anything else, man?
See you later.
See you, man.
Lastly, I've been working on the dialogue on
Oh, here is
the
a
new
That's
zone,
always useful.
Mhm.
which is here, and I've improved the graphics a little.
Yeah, I can see the difference from last time you showed it. I remember.
I've put back the global illumination You see the shadows here. It's ambient occlusion. You don't have. You can
you
turn
turn it
this off because some people have performance issues on 4K resolutions. So I've been working on. I will show this part before leaving.
This cabin door looks pretty tough.
So you have a professor inside with he have an antenna to discuss with aliens. That's here. And to enter his shack, you have to make an outfit, alien outfit. So
I like that.
this is his house. This is a Meshy here also. I use a mix of paid assets and Meshy assets.
Welcome, star beings.
It's a mix of both. You said.
For the 3D assets, yeah, it's a mix of both.
Okay.
I knew it. I knew I wasn't crazy.
That remains to be seen.
On
Hey,
behalf
that
of
sounds
all
like me.
Earthlings,
I wish I knew I wasn't
I
crazy.
salute you.
The costume seems to be working, but this guy is nuts.
Shulva. Cree.
Come on. Play along, Archibald.
We come in peace, human.
But you speak our language.
Namish Tashak.
This is Goa'uld language.
Entering. One cycle of your moon was enough for me to master your language.
Magnificent. Tell me, it was an asymmetric subharmonic resonance, wasn't it? That's what you picked.
Well, no, buddy. I'm the one who doesn't get anything.
The signal passes through a Takiyam shutter that transforms
Look at them
radio
talking
waves
nerd
into
stuff. I
gelatinous
like it.
photon pure. By inverting the frequency, we create an
This is
entropic
pure bullshit.
that allows us
Yeah.
to listen to
Who cares? No,
Yeah.
no one has to know.
Interstellar by its basic quantum engineering. Well, for you.
Kill me.
Blah 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 blah. Blah blah blah.
Oh, we got a flying saucer. Nice.
Yeah, needs to be remade.
I like this. I love alien stuff. So you put aliens in video games. I'm sold.
Yeah, I can. It's mandatory. You
Yeah,
make
yeah,
a-
100%.
Especially if it's an Easter egg, it's even this gaming culture throwback thing, I think, because there's been a few games that have like rumors about, oh, if you do this one very specific thing, you can. There's a UFO. I think
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah,
a-
yeah. And like a lot of games,
an
I know,
Easter
like,
egg. It's like a trope.
a bunch of Rockstar
Almost.
games have it.
So that's it for now.
This was beautiful. Thank you.
Cool
Thank
stuff,
you for
man.
showing us.
I still really wish that 11 Labs step up their game and you can redo the voices for this, but the rest is really nice. The videos turned out surprisingly well.
Yeah, the
I'll try to have some real voice once I've get some money. I know
It would be amazing.
it will be a really great to have a real human voice.
yeah.
It's a matter. It's a cost. So
No, yeah, and it sucks because 11 Labs is so high up there as far as like for like AI voices and stuff. But like I do agree. Like I think that if they do just a little bit more work, like if they do just a little bit with their voice, with like their voice labs, I think it'll be like amazing. Like if it just sounds just a little bit more realistic, like it'd be
This-
perfect.
this is my voices are not 11 Labs. The base
No.
wave file are, but I don't
Oh.
have. I use a local AI. Maybe later I will be paying
Okay.
for it.
I'm
But
sorry for shitting on them then.
Nah,
It's okay.
I'll still shit on them.
it's okay.
Well,
So
thank
that's
you,
it.
thank you so much for showing us, Jay. I appreciate it. That was great.
You're welcome.
That was great. Thank you. Yeah, Axe, you wanna wrap this up for us, buddy?
Yes, I
Thank
will
you.
rush.
No, you don't. You don't have to rush.
I think we can go 10 minutes over. if
Yeah. It'll be
necessary.
fine. I'm gonna speed run it. Do it really fast.
Yeah, I tried. Okay, so I'm making a game that is some kind of meta, so it knows that you are playing it.
Ah.
And everything you will see is AI generated. So every texture, every mesh, everything you hear. So I've been working on my title screen. where you can see.
Apocalypse. I like the name. I like the
Yeah.
name.
So
Nice.
the story is that there's an AI that tried to recreate the world of data it was trained. And since it's full of mistakes like we are, it has some mistakes in its game too. So it created a world. And you are this RoboCat. I think there's also an Easter egg. If you type in dance, yeah, just dances, yeah.
Oh, it is great. That is
And here
great.
you can see all the biomes, like the factory where you are built, the village you can visit, the ice desert, and some other stuff. Let's go in.
Super nice. Hits you with playfulness right away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is
the
speaking
FPS
to you
tracker is
as
great.
it speaks to you as a player, so it knows that you are playing the game.
Hmm.
This is really old. I have to redo it.
How did you animate this? Or that
I'll put it into Kling AI.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a tutorial area. I will change this too, where it explains key binding WASD is move direction.
I
Also,
see.
how you jump. It's on. It's got this little
Nice.
companion. It lights up your way. You can attach it if it's annoying. You can detach it. Also, a little bit of storytelling. A little bit of how AI creates and also destroys.
Oh, that's deep. That's a deep message. That's a
Yeah.
deep message.
You can also go in there, of course, but then you die and we will be
Restart.
also have a double jump or
like
double
that.
jump, a high jump. And then also some storytelling about the AI that is represented by this blue iris eyeball. And heroic, this fight for and that stuff. Yeah, it's just a little bit of storytelling in the tutorial area. Here you can learn how you go platforming. I will skip this. Yeah, and also more storytelling than some mechanics how you can interact with these.
I actually really like these like meta niche games, like games that
Yeah.
know other games. I like that niche.
Room that is glitching around. And yeah. So the goal is to escape this factory by doing platforming. You have to learn some moves. I will cheat now.
You're like, I already know how to speedrun this. I made it. Damn it.
Yeah. Also some puzzling here, but let's go out. And yeah, you can enter from this overworld into those small ones. So this is the layout of the level.
Mm-hmm.
You can enter here.
It's kind of like a board game.
Yeah, some kind of.
Yes, a little bit.
So I've got over 700 Meshy assets.
Oh,
in this
wow.
game now. Yeah. And some power-ups you can collect, and then you can climb wherever the sign is on.
Oh, that's nice.
You can climb. Also, you need a checkpoint. You can also die, make these bubbles, so the player knows that it's probably a not good idea to
That meow.
go in there.
That sounds good.
Also made my first enemies. So also the texture, everything is AI. All the sounds. This is I use the quadrupeds animation. That's the only animation available in Meshy for quadrupeds.
And this is strictly going to be like
animation.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I just want to tell you that it's the one animation, and you use
yeah. Yeah, you can jump on them.
This is going to be obviously this is going to be like a platformer, right?
Yeah, sure. It's a Metroidvania, so you collect some stuff and then you can go back.
Nice.
I think I got this rail here. If you don't know what to do, so these boots, we get them later in the game. And perhaps you can talk with him. And then these are some characters that explain how you access certain things. And the cool thing is, this is a Meshy asset. So the perspective was, the picture was like this. and Meshy interpreted it as this, but I can use it in the game as it is. It's really cool because it fits the theme. Can also grind.
Oh, hell yeah.
Also, the skybox is AI. Turned out really good.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I like this game was made with AI. It's about AI. It's just everything AI. I love it.
Yeah. But it's
Oh,
hard
that's great.
because if you want to animate something,
Mhm.
you have to get the sound effect, and from this, you can make the animation. So it's really tightly strict to how your effects go.
Yeah.
You mean you create the sound first, and then you need to
Yes.
make the timing of the animation fit that?
Yes, and that's so hard.
Ooh, but what?
Yes.
Why don't you create the sound later?
Because it feels better. So, for example, if I cheat myself to the first checkpoint after making this platform section, then I ring the bell. Then this guy comes out. You can talk to him. He's responsible for open the door. And if he does it,
Yeah, okay, I can see how
Yeah.
that animation fits the sound perfectly, and it would be even more difficult to do it the other way around in a way, right? Depending on your sound design skills.
that's the point.
Interesting.
Now let's get out here, and then you will first have an encounter, or the player will see how the antagonist watches you, because the AI is always watching you.
Always watching.
That guy's new.
Imagine if the AI is always watching you, it would adjust the difficulty based on how well you perform.
Oh, that's good, but impossible for me to make.
Yeah, it's part of the game. It's not very possible.
Also got these fish chicken.
Wait, what
Wandering
just
around.
happened to the door? It just flew.
Every door in this game is special. It's
Yeah.
funny.
I know.
Also, this one doesn't watch the player; it watches you, because it knows that you
Ooh.
are playing it in. So I got some characters I want to include are waiting here. Those banana.
Banana monkeys.
Also, this one, if you don't know how to proceed, you can ask him, and he tells you how. And also got another
I
nice
wouldn't even
character.
interact with it. I would
Yeah,
be
me
too scared
too.
to interact.
You can just walk away. I don't need a tip. I don't need a
Yeah, exactly. There's so many
That's a lot.
levels.
Yeah.
Also, this character, I wanted to have some lore, some guy I animated in game, because since everything is moving and the NPCs know about it,
Mhm.
this is a character that wanted to preserve the moment, because it's like he knows that I will change in the future many things here. And the last thing I made new, I wanted to show you. Where is it? Yeah. You always have to think, how can I restrict the player from going into an area that he's not supposed to?
You know, invisible barriers.
Too. But it's better to do it with abilities. So I will cheat myself. If you collect 3 parts, you can fly with the ice jet.
Uh-huh. I'm liking all these different biomes.
Yeah.
I'm liking the FPS. How it always freezes.
It's always accurate, right? It's like super 100% accurate, right?
Yeah.
There's no way you would lie about that.
No, this is real. But it's a 5080 RTX, so it should be even higher.
Oh, so it's actually real.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, so my PC wouldn't even run it?
Say 10, 20,
And so
10, 20.
he starts optimizing. But now I want to restrict the player to go over this boundary, because behind this there is some special thing, and yeah, it warns you, keep out. But if you try to overcome it, then
Num.
yeah. But if you don't
You know
touch the
what?
ground,
You know, that looked like from
Dune.
Dune.
Yeah. Also older movies.
Oh, like
So, like-
the Dune worm. Does that come out in every single map, or just this one?
Just this one.
Just this one, okay.
Yes, you can go through this one. You have
You
to
could
make more
make-
challenges here. But even though it's this big and low poly, it turned out really great.
You could really make like you have to balance on it. And if you fall out, the worm will eat you.
Yeah.
Oh, with grinding, I think it should be easy. It should be just like simple. Unless it's like strictly like a skateboarding game or something.
And if you don't mess it up, yeah.
Oh.
Fall into the secret pit.
Yeah.
And here you have to overcome the next challenge.
Do the lasers already bark?
Oh, nice.
Or still not?
Yes, they do. But I fail so often here that I am playing carefully now. Okay. And after this, you have to charge up this battery. And this is like the mechanic that was explained before.
Exactly. That's exactly
what you asked for, right?
Yeah. I wanted to steal that.
Max, the chat asked, did you make all the materials, shaders, and particle effects yourself?
Yes. But optimizing them is really hard because AI gives you maybe 1 or 2K pictures resolution, and then you have to scale it down and use world normal,
give you 8K.
world space, and then you have to find the sweet spot where it looks bad and push it up a bit, and that's the right. So even with 700 Meshy models, it's about 4 gigabytes, this game, and you have to rope jump because it decreases if you don't touch.
You should make something like Portal. You could put blocks in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the newest stuff.
Nice.
You can also drive with this.
I've never seen you show this before, so this all looks cool to me. It's my first time seeing it, so.
Okay. Also got some new mechanic. So not a new mechanic, but I didn't see it. Oh no, that's the wrong one. That's the helicopter thing. Where you control the level with your slider. Also, this is really cool.
Skybox or?
Yeah. Yeah. You can control this by collecting a slider. Then you have the slider and you can control the platforms you're standing on while you move the slider.
And look at that creative. Look at that. Look at you being creative and shit. Look at that. Look at that.
Okay. Such a good boy.
That's a good
I was waiting for that.
Boy.
Novabite is asking if you made the materials and shaders and particle effects yourself.
Yeah, it's already answered. Oops.
Yeah. I asked him.
Yeah.
Like
I didn't listen.
But what means myself? So if I
out.
need a tomb wall, I asked ChatGPT to make a seamless tomb wall.
Mm-hmm.
And made this custom. Yeah, it looks complicated, but it was.
Blueprints.
It's a material graph that's not a big graph, but they stretch out if you want to scale them, and that it's really annoying. And let me get a wall that I can actually move. So if you stretch it, then the tiling will go crazy, but with this graph, you can resize it as you want, and it always stays the same.
That's world space based. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. And also for this, so when you go high up, then you can see the tiling like this tile. But if you are really close, then you again have to find the sweet spot where the player doesn't see that it's tiling this much. And it turned out quite good, I think. I can't complain. Oops. Okay, now
I
it's
think
loaded in.
with the new tools, a lot of it comes down to visual taste and curation, I guess.
Yeah, I think so too. And some people will hate it, and some people will like it. You can't do everything right.
Yeah, you can't please everybody. Who cares?
Yeah.
That's really nice. Thanks for showing us this. Like, I liked it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Problem.
Here too. Thank you so much.
Can also make.
Little blocks to walk
Can-
on. Nice.
Yeah, you can build your own part.
Texture missing. Don't worry, guys. That's part of the game. That's part of the game.
Yeah, it's really part of the game.
It's meta. It's supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
No, AI forgot to up textures.
Yeah. Can also write on this.
Oh shit! Look at that. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah,
Can you
thanks for
move?
watching.
Yeah, thank you for showing us that
Right.
creativity. Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. You're
No problem.
a 10 out of 10. Thank
Yeah, thanks.
you.
Fucking
Andy,
11 out of 10.
11. Andy, you said you wanted to show one more thing for us
I
before we
do
wrap it
real
up?
quick. Yeah, let me share my screen and then switch over to get push to talk off again. All right. Okay, everybody can hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
So what this is another example, and I just
You're
remembered
on
about it that we
stream.
test. I know I'm getting it up that we were testing the other day, and this by far. Why are you not application? Oh, entire screen. This is by far one of the coolest applications in the way that I've used anti-gravity. And we did this during our team call last Saturday on the fly and just went through. And what we were curious about was, creating UI elements. So the ask here, the very first ask was create an interactive PC game inventory system in a React frame to test locally. So this is in my local host right now. It took a couple minutes for it to generate it. And then it got stalled, but I had to kind of give it a couple other things. We changed a few bits out of it. This image right here, I put it in here. This is one of the Meshy characters that we're testing out. But what this did, it gave us we're testing VFX, we're testing the movement, the UI elements themselves. So within 4 minutes, this is what it created for me. I didn't give it any other indication. And then this image here was the only thing that I provided it that was after the fact, because it put some little wizard thing in here. And then here's the beauty part of it all is that I asked it, I said, okay, I want to be able to do this inside of Unreal Engine. So give me the code, the C++ code to generate the widgets, the UI, the VFX, the items themselves, just to give this a prototype and to bring it into Unreal Engine. Now, we have not imported this into Unreal yet. We haven't given it a go. I'm sure that there'll be a lot of stuff to work through, but the moment I do that, all I got to do is just connect anti-gravity up to the project. It links some of this information into it and just tell it this is what we were working on. These are the issues that I'm seeing now inside of the C++ side of code generation and VFX generation, because anti-gravity they can't tell you how to do user widget stuff, and it can't tell you how to do VFX well enough, to understand the system. So we're going to start from a test on the C++ side to create all this for us. And I've dabbled with this in Cursor with a couple other things that have turned out to be really good. But the fact that has tooltips, it moves items, we can drag it. They have sparkles, so it's random sparks as I drag and drop, red, and blue. Some of the other inventory just put up there on its own. So anyway, I wanted to just show that real quick as another cool way to try to get UI stuff in there. And the last presentation actually kind of made me think about that. So, all right, cool.
Prototyping in React to port later to C++ is definitely a new thing. I don't think ever anyone would have done that before.
And that's the beauty of it, is that I'm stupid to this
crazy
stuff. So yeah,
I never thought about it this way. Let's write this in a completely different framework first, and then port it if it's good.
Yeah. I mean, it does an okay job. Apparently, I don't know. The C++ is next to test when we get time. We have UI elements right now, but the inventory, we just decided the other day that we're probably going to have an inventory system. We're trying to make it not a visual thing that the users can actually play with, but more of a menu where you don't really get a choice. You can pick some stuff, but it was more along the lines of functionality. So anyway, thanks for giving me that extra second.
Maybe you can update us when we know if it did a good job at porting it. I'd be curious to hear.
Yeah, I can't wait to find out either. We'll see.
Appreciate it, Andy. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Yeah, well, that is going to do it for this episode of the Meshy podcast. I want to just say a huge shout out to everybody from the came up, showcased what they're working on. It's always inspiring to see, especially from people that aren't aware of this stuff and don't know anything about it like myself. So anyways, if you enjoyed this episode and you guys are watching this on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment letting us know which project stood out to you the most. And if you're listening in, you can find the Mesh Up podcast anywhere you get your podcast. And we will be back in 2 weeks with more conversations around AI, 3D creativity, and game development. So until next time, thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for everybody that came by and is left standing, and everybody who talked and everything like that. So that was beautiful. Thank you guys. Tara, go ahead. Close this out, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
If you really want, you can listen to 5 more minutes of AI-generated rave music. If you don't, I understand. And thank you, everyone, for coming.
You
As
guys-
always.
You
to
guys
listen
better
to
stay.
whatever
Thanks,
wants to.
everyone.